You cannot sell your parents' house when they pass away, even if they are passing it down to you. When they pass away, you do not have ownership of that property. The estate owns that property. And the estate will have to go through the probate process before that property can be distributed out to you. Till the probate process is over, you have no legal authority to sell that property. Mortgages, taxes, and utilities still need to be paid. The house can sit empty and even deteriorate while you're waiting on court approval. And delays or mistakes during the probate process can tie that property up for months or even years. Most people assume that they can just take over that property and sell it if they are listed in the will or they are the only child. But that's not how it works. Even with a will, that property has to go through the probate process before it can be distributed out to you and you take over the ownership and control of that property. So here's what a will does not do. It does not avoid probate. It does not transfer the ownership of that property automatically. It does not give you the right to sell. It does not give you the right to sell or manage that property immediately. Even if you are named in the will, the court has to approve everything that you do until you go through the probate process and take over the ownership of that property. So here's what a will does do. It does outline how that property needs to be distributed during the probate process. It also appoints the executor, which would be the person who's going to manage that property and distribute it during the probate process. So let's talk about how to legally take over the ownership of your parents' house when they pass away so that you can sell it. When they pass away, you're going to grab the death certificate, their original will if they had one, and fill out the petition for probate. You will file that at the probate courts in the county where your parents live. The courts will open up the probate process and give you the letters of testamentary, which gives you authority to manage that property during the probate process. You will get an EIN number and open up an estate bank account. You will reach out to the lender and give them the death certificate and the letters of testamentary, which proves that your parents have passed away and that you have the authority to manage a property during the probate process. The banks will give you access to those accounts so you can start making mortgage payments out of the estate bank account. You also need to publicly notify creditors that your parents have passed away and then use assets inside the estate to pay off those debts that your parents owed. Once you are done paying off those debts, then you can distribute the remaining assets per the instructions inside of that will. Once you're done distributing those assets out to the beneficiaries, you'll put together the final accounting, which will account for all of the expenses related to the assets inside the estate, all the debts that you paid off of your parents, and then all of the distributions that you made out to the beneficiaries. You will take that final accounting along with a petition to discharge you as the executor of the estate, and you'll file that at the probate courts. The courts will review all the documentation, the expenses you paid, the debts that you paid off, and the distributions that you made, and when they approve it, they will sign off on everything and release you as the executor of the estate. At this point, the probate process is complete. You have received that property in your personal name. So what you need to do is reach out to the lender, let them know that you have taken over ownership of that property, assume the loan, refinance the loan, or pay that loan off, and then you can sell that property as you see fit and do with that money as you please. If you want help navigating the probate process or setting up your house so it avoids the probate process and goes directly down to your beneficiaries, click the link in the bio, fill out the form, and schedule a time to talk to someone on our team.